Hey there friends, welcome back to the channel. My name is Sohum and today we're going to be doing a triple reaction to the insanely talented progressive group Pomegranate Dagger. I couldn't be more excited for this. The last time I heard this band completely blew me away. I expect my brain to be fully broken after this reaction, which I'm happy to do, so I'm excited to check these songs out today. We're going to be listening to Dagger Dance, Metasphere, and Stars. Before jumping into this, let's thank Say Lesinge the Wise for making this donation request and for putting Pomegranate Dagger back into the rotation of reactions on this channel. Thank you so much. And now, let's just dive into the fun. Let's go. Right away. Right away with the insanity. Oh God. Bro, I don't even know what to feel right now. I'm so, overwhelmed in a good way, but my word, this is chaotic right now. I have no sense of time signature, of tonal center. This, my thought bubble is telling you right now, but this is actually crazy. The level of virtuosity, and I have no idea what's going on. Let's just enjoy the ride. This is like a chaotic trip through the cosmos. Oh, that's scary. Black Rose. I think in that section it's like a 4/4, but the way the riff is structured, it kind of feels like 5/4, and it's like it's kind of being repeated, but not really. I think I just gotta go back and try to piece this together. Whether I'll be able to or not, never mind. I don't know. I like that. Ooh. somewhere else now. Bro. This is too prog for me. I don't know. I can't wrap my brain around it. Wow, now it's really thinned out, this mix. But I love this guitar tone. The sustained notes ringing out. It's a great arpeggiated sequence. Okay, that's a simple beat I can wrap my brain around. Reminds me a bit of a Tesseract. Okay, that is a remarkably ominous way to end a song. I don't really have anything intelligent to say. What I will say is they are all virtuosos. They can manipulate rhythmic patterns, melodies around any unique time signatures and tempos they so choose. They're really good at like adding these spaces between notes that you wouldn't necessarily expect to put there, but they add these spaces. They break up the commonality of a lot of like 4/4 rhythms, for example, and they have perfect synchronicity within those new paradigms that they're creating. That's the best I got for you. On the music video side, which I don't normally talk about music videos, but I think it's a bit interesting, this one, Dagger Dance, you have all of these women dressed in like the black masquerade sort of mesh, or is it lace? The lace kind of face thing, dancing around, and then it converts from black at some point to white later, where I feel like it's almost this bridge, this big expanse, and then normal metalcore or, you know, other even progressive genres would then return back to the heaviness. But Pomegranate Tiger, they say, no, let's subvert even the expectations of prog lovers and end it on this kind of ominous, beautiful, airy vibe where now the women are dressed in white. But in the end, they come back to the black rose and we see that like red sand continue to fall. I don't know what that refers to, but I don't know a lot about what just happened. So let's just keep it pushing. The second song is Metasphere. Sayla Singe, you're really trying to do my head in. I appreciate it. The goddess of wisdom who seeks art in the AI world. That's a cool concept. Oh, that's a riff. It is filthy. I don't know why I'm sort of getting reminded a bit of Invent Animate in terms of like the atmosphere created. But from a technical perspective, those bands, Pomegranate Tiger and Invent Animate, are worlds apart. This is so foreign to me. It's even more complicated than Riverside, in my feeling. So sorry for pausing it so much. I think my brain is about to melt. Did you hear? Well, you saw visually the blacksmith starting to hammer, and did you hear the little tings in the background of the mix? It's little things like that that I'm able to catch at this point. The big stuff is all I don't even understand actually what's happening at a macro or micro level. Who am I kidding? Oh. I like that riff. I'm noticing in some of the riffs, the groupings are changing, which is a kind of unique way of retaining either the time signature or tempo, while still creating variation in the rhythmic feel. That's all I got. Wow, I love this. What does that say in the art? Creativity is more important than knowledge. I just got chills. Classics, nature. Creativity is more important than knowledge. Wow. Oh my god, I love this song. The hammer there. God, I love this song. I think out of the two we heard so far, this one definitely takes the cake for me out of Dagger Dance and Metasphere. And I love how in the music video we had so many cool art pieces that got displayed. Either it was literally being created in front of our eyes, or at least it was on display throughout the visuals. Very pretty, these music videos visually, and God, the music. They're drawing from the creative bag that is so evident, but also it is so technical that I can't imagine you could do this without the knowledge. Not that you need to have like a scientific understanding of how to compose music and arrange it and think of all of those subtleties, but the mixing is so dialed in. It feels like everybody knows exactly what's going to happen in terms of these crazy subdivisions. Nothing feels overly dissonant. Everything has its time and place, despite it all belonging to a different like time signature construct. I mean, they don't abide by the same rules as, the standard 4/4 would. And I'm not like ever going to become a musicologist. That's just not something I'm truly interested in, but something that does interest me as a sort of more granular topic is how humans would how can I even formulate this research question? In the Western world, a lot of our music, the majority of our music is 4/4. Is that because humans are attuned to 4/4? Or is that because of our history with music and its development and how society has picked it up, and 4/4 has been the mainstay, right? It's the staple we're used to. And then I think the example I could use is like any other culture that existed before, like our modern Western world, they used odd time signatures, different scales, microtonal pitches, and all these different things that exist out there in other cultures that are just not heavily used in the West. So I think humans are just used to what they're used to. And we could get used to anything. If I kept listening to Pomegranate Tiger and working my brain into this world, maybe it would start making more sense. I'm very open to that. But for a prog group, I think like they are one of the most complicated I've heard. And we still have one more song to check out. Don't go anywhere. We have, in my mind, we have groups like, on this channel we've reacted to Caligula's Horse, Porcupine Tree, Steve Wilson, King's X, Riverside, not Hanabi, what is the other group? There's another one. We've reacted to a bunch of prog on this channel, and I hope to continue to react. Pomegranate Tiger, it feels to me like the most complicated from a musical perspective. I am enjoying. Let's keep going. The last song of the day, Stars. And it's a double guitar playthrough, okay. I am a guitarist, so I'll see what I can muster up in the good old Sohum brain. Figure out what they may be doing. Ibanez. The squealy on that. Wow. Look at how smooth this technique is. So is the original Stars track without the double guitar playthrough still like this guitar centric, or is the mix turned up right now because we're only seeing the visuals of the guitars? Either way, it's cool. But if that's the case, and this is like the standard mix of the song, then it's definitely a guitar centric song. This is the kind of song that guitarists would love to learn just to get our reps up in these odd cadences and time signatures and cool arpeggios that nobody ever will teach you in your like rudimentary arpeggio book. This is the only 4/4 we get. And I love this third chord. Oh, it extended. Tapping. Top. How can you play that riff on top? It fits. Oh my god. How does that riff fit over the top of the 4/4 strumming? I thought a lot of things. And Pomegranate Tiger said time signatures, scales, logical patterns, all of that be damned. We are going to be creative geniuses who have so much virtuosity under our sleeves. No one can tell us what to do at any point. I really think they are the most technically challenging progressive rock group out there, especially what I heard in the first song of the reaction set, Dagger Dance. Metasphere was still as technical but very beautiful and ethereal. I think that's what kind of got it for me, or like took me out in that song in a good way. And then here we have this double guitar playthrough with Stars, and I'm just looking at their fingers, looking at their left hands, looking at their right hands, trying to gain a semblance of how they do what they do. Their right hands are so fluid in motion when they're going for these sweep picks. It is just 6 strings, no problem. 8 strings, no problem. Up and down, the most fluid of motions. And their fingers are equally precise in the fluidity, because they have to do so much. They're moving up and down, but they're never missing. And something that it was a bad habit of mine, especially early on in my guitar days, and maybe it persists now, but I'm far more aware of it in my own guitar playing, is I would fall back on the distortion in my guitar playing. What do I mean by that? I mean, if I were making mistakes, distortion is a really great way to hide your mistakes, especially to the non-discerning eye. A lot of my friends who don't listen to, music all that much compared to me, or don't know much about metal music or prog music or guitar work in general, they hear me play and they're like, dang, Sohum, you're really good. But I know I'm making like hundreds of mistakes in the eyes of true technical guitar lords. And, there's always a bigger fish, so I do give myself some grace in terms of my playing, but I also know that the distortion has been a band-aid to me becoming more precise, me becoming faster and more efficient with my movements. Watching them do what they do, especially in stars, it's very eye-opening. I'm sure they spent thousands and thousands and thousands and thousands of hours practicing to make all of those movements as precise as possible, such that they aren't actually expending all that much energy or brain power to do it. It comes effortlessly, and that therefore allows them to compose in these ways even if they've never experienced certain paradigms that they're introducing before. Because, like the painting said, creativity is more important than knowledge. If you know how to do something, that is great, but applying it in a creative way is what makes art special, and not everybody can actually be artistic. You can only be artistic truly as an expression of creativity, and that is absent of knowledge in some cases. Knowledge helps and it allows you to do more with the various tools available to you, but you could have the most unique, up-to-date, modern, bleeding edge tools out there and do nothing interesting with them at all. You can see a lot of the AI art that gets created nowadays. I would say there's like 2% of it that is actually really ingenious, and I can't even distinguish it from real human art. And the other 98% that looks fake, looks redundant, doesn't actually appeal to the human eye, and doesn't even pass the Turing test. Pomegranate Tiger, man. I hope you enjoyed my reaction. I know I said a whole lot of nothing at points, just me describing how much I know or how little I know about Pomegranate Tiger, but if you enjoyed my reaction either way, hit that subscribe button. If you'd like to make a request yourself, you can do so by clicking the first link down below. But as always, my friends, have a wonderful rest of your day. Take care and peace.